Hello everybody, welcome back once again. I've got another character guide for you. So this time we are talking Julio. I really like him. He is the TP expert. I I used him as basically Archibald's partner once Archibald hit 20, was it 27 or 29 and got inescapable arrow. And from that point, those two are basically inseparable. But let's start out with his accessories. I think that Julio just needs speed. He's actually good on, I mean, his physical defense is really good. His magic defense is pretty solid as well. His strength is fine, but it's pretty rare to be swinging with him, though when you do, he can do some pretty serious damage, especially to the armored enemies like the pikemen and the shield bearers. Because he's got best regards. Obviously, he gets that pretty late in the game, but he does have solid damage the entire game. Unfortunately, though, he is a melee character, and so you know there's limitations there. But I think that he just needs speed, and mostly because I'm going to be using him to basically charge, you know, the other character's TP. And so, him getting turns more often is really going to help out. So again, good strength, solid physical defense, middle of the road. Magic attack is okay, but who really cares? Again, it's really rare that he's going to be throwing out any sort of fire or ice stone, anything like that. Magic defense is solid. His luck is okay. I will use him every once in a while to swing, so, having an okay luck stat is, good. Accuracy is really good, though, too. That's actually really high. Obviously very, very good when you actually do need to swing. Speed, so he's at 31 right now, so he's getting 3-5 from accessories, meaning that his base speed is 26, which isn't great. It's pretty middle of the road, but it's not phenomenal. But yeah, I would definitely recommend sticking speed accessories on him. His evasion is 57, which is actually pretty high. Definitely above average. Not not like Anna Milo level evasion, but it's okay. And then his jump is 2. That standard. Movement is 5, which is standard as well. All right, so his probably #1 ability is called Moment of Truth. Eventually, there is a weapon ability that reduces the TP cost of this by 1, but this is basically like an upgraded version of Benedict's Raging Beast, and it's also cheaper once you get, again, that weapon skill. So it says, grant 1 TP to an ally and raise their strength and magic attack for 3 turns. Just dealing this out to multiple characters would be really good. Unfortunately, because I rely so much on Archibald, I don't do that, and I really just spam Moment of Truth on Archibald almost any opportunity that I can get. But again, dishing out that strength and magic buff would be good. It's just, again, I love just giving Archibald TP over and over so that he can use inescapable arrow and kind of deal with the archers in the game, or I'm sorry, not the archers, but the mages. But yeah, great ability. Not on my watch is okay. There's some very specific times where this is pretty good, where, I don't know, let's just say if a mage has got into range, you could run up to them and steal, a TP to try to keep them from casting. But it's pretty rare that I ended up using this. It is actually really strong. Power is 266. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, I never really used that much. Next up is his passive KO TP. So it says grant 1 TP when you defeat an enemy. Now, that's pretty cool, but it's pretty rare that Julio is getting kill shots. And most of the time, I wouldn't say that, I went out of my way to do that. Getting an extra TP is great, though. So, when it happens, when the stars align, and he actually does get a kill shot, that's fantastic. So again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, great, when it happens, it's actually pretty nice. Finish them. This eventually gets outclassed by Inheritor,
but finish them is pretty good. So it says grant 2 TP to an ally. Unfortunately, it costs 1, or I'm sorry, it costs 3, but it gives 2. So it's not very efficient, but it can be a really great way to boost up somebody that you really need a bunch of extra TP on. Like, again, Archibald. Or maybe a mage, right? If they've kind of bottomed out on TP and they need a little bit of TP to get them going again. So that's a great, or it's an okay ability anyway. Again, it gets outclassed and it becomes actually completely redundant once you get Inheritor, but for a while I did use that a few times. Next up is TP Barrier. Decreases damage taken. The greater your TP, the greater the damage reduction. Now, that sounds great, and it is great. Unfortunately, though, Julio usually doesn't really keep his TP for very long, and he's giving it to somebody else. So, you know, it's great if kind of the stars align, and he's got a bunch of TP, and then that can kind of, you know, reduce the damage that he's taking. But oftentimes he's just, you know, running on empty. So, next up is Best Regards. I actually use this a lot. It is great because it says deal non-elemental magic damage to a single enemy. So again, great for if a pikeman or a shield bearer has made it to Julio, and yeah, or your front line, and you just want to take them out. Very, very cheap. Only one, you know, only 1 TP to use this thing, and you know, again, it does a ton of damage to people that have low magic resistance. And then lastly here, well, not quite last, I guess there's Intimidation, but Inheritor. And I love this ability. This is so good. There's some just amazing combos with him and some of the other characters because of this. So if you've got, for instance, or if you've brought Medina with you, and I'll do this in a little bit here, but Medina can throw out a bunch of, you know, ranged HP recovery pellets to restore a ton of TP to a bunch of different characters, and then you can give that to somebody else using Inheritor with Julio. So basically, if you've got her with you, you can give somebody else 3 TP every turn with Inheritor, because Julio will, you know, he'll regenerate the 1 HP when he starts his turn, and then he'll have got the 2 TP from Medina as well. And so you can really pump out a bunch of TP into another character. And that character, whoever the target character is technically able to get 4 TP, because that character will gain 1 TP when they start their turn, and they'll get the other 3 from Julio. So fantastic, fantastic ability. I absolutely love it. And I really like Julio. It was kind of funny at the beginning of the game. I wasn't so wild about him, but then when I kind of started figuring out the combos a little bit, I was like, oh my god, this guy's nuts. Lastly, Intimidation. I barely ever used this. I don't even know if I ever used this in any one of my videos. But the power is 287, which is okay. But it says deal physical damage to all enemies within range and lower their TP by 1. The only reason why I didn't really use this that much is, for one thing, it's a melee. It's a melee ability, and Julio is usually kind of hanging out with mages or with Archibald, and really isn't spending that much time within melee range of an enemy. But also, it's very, very expensive, and it's almost always the case that I would rather give his TP to somebody else than use it to deal a little bit of damage and then, you know, lower TP. But that said, there's a couple of you know, bosses in the game, and maybe some of the like mages and stuff that this would be good against, right? Where if you're concerned about them getting too much TP and then nuking you on their following turn, you could use Intimidation, or even not on my watch. So he is interesting, right? And you know, not just a one-trick pony with Inheritor and Moment of Truth, but you know, you can use them for some other stuff as well. But all right, so let's take a look here. I've actually already started a battle here. It's funny how many times I've set up kind of in this way for some of my videos. But all right, so right now I could use Inheritor to give somebody a bunch of extra TP. Decimal actually wouldn't be a bad idea. So I've already given Decimal Benedict's 2-fold turn buff. I could actually give Benedict a bunch of TP here as well, so that on Benedict's following turn, he could throw that buff out again. Or I could, cap Archibald out here on TP. Milo, it feels a little bit redundant because she's already got 3, so she'll restore 1 on her turn, meaning, sure, she'd still end up with 1 TP extra, but I would be dumping off all of my TP to do that. I think probably what I would do, because Decimal wouldn't, restore TP on its turn, I could either use Inheritor here if I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll use maybe I'll use 2, 3 calculations, or a 3 and a 4 calculation, right? Because that's going to be a total of 4 TP with the 2-fold turn. Otherwise, I could just use the Moment of Truth here and actually give Decimal a little bit of a buff, right? Because this is going to give him, or give it, the strength and magical attack. So actually, Decimal will now pump out just a little bit more damage because of that. Let's do a critical blow here. I'm probably going to need to move Archibald, actually.
I saw that.
Pow. Boom. One of my favorite combos is actually these 4 characters. It's Medina, Julio, Benedict, Decimal, and Archibald. And I basically just put them in a cross pattern and use Medina to restore everybody's TP, and then dish out some from Julio onto Milo. And if you watch my last Mental Mock Battle video, you can check it out. It's called The Assassins, and I abuse that combo the entire time, and it works so good. Basically, Julio is fueling Milo for a gigantic portion of that battle, so that she can jump out with Moon Jump, and then she can charm people, and then she just runs back. And she can basically do that every single turn because of Julio and Medina. So, again, I definitely recommend checking that video out, because you can see the full combo in action. And it's just a lot of fun to do it. But yeah, I mean, Julio Milo is a great combo. Julio Archibald is the other one that's really good, and then Julio Decimal, because, I mean, honestly, it's really a Julio and anybody that really needs to be getting a lot of TP every turn. It just ends up working out so well. I'll do one more combo here. Let's see if this is gonna work out. I'll see if the timing, yeah, actually looks like it should work out.
Not to be trifled with.
They're not to be trifled with. That's right. We shouldn't be trifled with these guys. So we'll use double items here, and then this is what I was talking about. So we'll use the range HP recovery pellet. I'll use a large one as well, just because Benedict needs a little bit extra. So that refilled Julio's. So he's back up to 4. And then here I would just use Power of Love on somebody, or I could jump out. Actually, no, I can't jump out right now because she only has 4. That guy's paralyzed. That guy's acting 4th. Yeah. Let's actually do this. There we go. Alright, so let's do Power of Love on this guy. Now she's bottomed out on TP. Julio, boom, just hit 5, so I would use Inheritor on her. Oh, and I should have used, dang it, I should have used In Tandem. That's my bad. I'll use In Tandem on Archibald's turn. But there, that guy's gonna fly off, annihilate his buddy.
Someone give an old man a hand.
Alright, so let's use In Tandem here on Milo. Someone give an old man a hand. Always blind.
Let's play.
Alright, so here's what I was talking about. So now what I would usually do here is actually do a moon jump. I mean, I probably don't need to do that because I want to get this guy charmed. But one of the things that you can do, because as long as you've got 5 TP, and that's one of the reasons why Milo is so good, is you can jump out.
You won't know up from down.
And then use Hearts. Well, I guess I could use Heart Stealer right now, and actually that would be the most efficient thing to do. It's probably not that smart to use Power of Love here, but Power of Love will be 100% temp chance, whereas, oh, hang on. Is Heartstealer 100% here? What? Okay, yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to do that then. That would be a waste to use all of that TP just on that, on that one guy, right? Boom, and there you have it. So yeah, so this is the combo with Julio. He made it. It's really like that. I can't believe how effective it was, especially in that Assassin's battle. It was Medina, Julio, Benedict, and actually Decimal here, and then Archibald. And I had Archibald kind of like right in here. And so basically all of these guys were able to use their like best moves every single turn. And then I was using Julio to fuel Milo, because obviously she wouldn't be able to get enough TP by herself if she was in here. But also, it's nice to be able to have her jump out, charm things, and then run back. So, you know, and Julio makes that all possible with his Inheritor ability. Kapow! So, all right, let's get out of here, and we'll talk Julio's weapon upgrades. There isn't probably going to be that much to it, just because he's a utility character. So you know, a lot of the stuff just doesn't really matter that much for him. Which actually is kind of nice though too, because that means you can spend your money and materials on other people. All right, so here he is. So tier 1, he's got a weapon, you know, potency upgrade. He's got an HP, a defense, accuracy, and then luck. I would start with the defense and then probably go into the HP, accuracy, why not, and then the weapon potency, and finish up with luck last. It's just, again, he's a utility character in my opinion, and most of the time you're going to be, you know, dishing out, you know, TP or buffs as opposed to actually dealing damage. But yes, that's the order that I would go in. Next up, so he's got another weapon potency. You've got your max HP, I guess this is a magic defense this time around. And then you've got speed, and then decreasing the TP cost of Moment of Truth. This is the #1 ability for his tier 2 weapon upgrade abilities. I would buy that, then I would buy the speed, then I would buy the magic defense, then the HP, then the potency last. So basically just go from right to left in that order. And then lastly here, you've either got weapon potency or intimidation. None of these I care about at all. I would probably like literally upgrade his, you know, probably his weapon first, and then do intimidation second. But only if basically everybody else has anything that they need from their tier 3 upgrades, because I don't value his damage at all, and I barely ever used intimidation. So that's my opinion on Julio. Again, I absolutely love him. He pairs up so well with so many people. Your mages, you know, if you're running on a TP on mages, you know, give them some with Julio, or abuse the Julio Archibald connection like I did the entire frickin' game, and just, you know, orbital strike everybody with Archibald the entire game. You know, they're such a great combo for taking out mages, who I view mages to be the most dangerous enemies in the game, aside from the bosses. But they're also squishy and very easy to take down with Archibald. So do that, and I think you will have a good time. But that's going to be it for this one. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.